Hi all, welcome back. Now, I know it has been a while since I last published a video. Many things have been happening, but nevertheless, I really want to focus right now in this tutorial on the multi, let's call it a currency conversion, because many times we need to apply the currency conversions through the Google Finance. And in particular, I think the one of the best examples that we can use is actually either we're purchasing a particular cryptocurrency or stock investment. So a stock within the stock market, right? So investments. So this tutorial will be right now focused purely on the way I would create the multi-currency conversion, depending where you can select the base model, the currency of your base model, and very much purchasing um, the crypto through the fiat or through the stable coins essentially. So, and again, it will give you a certain level of kind of flexibility when it comes to using different, again, centralized exchanges and potentially decentralized as well. So once again, there is a lot. This is kind of an updated model, which I think of the ultimate model. So I'm sorry if there is a bit of a cost to this, but I really want you to focus on right now to show how would I do the multi-currency conversion of the crypto investment portfolio tracker in Google Sheets, and hopefully it's going to be exciting. So stay tuned. By the way, before we actually jump into this, I just really wanted to show you quickly. So essentially you have the model, kind of the base model, the currency, and again, drop-down menu. You will then have the live prices, which are automatically converted to your kind of model currency. So for example, right now it's in USD, so we know that Bitcoin right now it's at 107, nearly 117,000. But if, for example, where I'm based in London right now, in terms of the GBP, if I'll change to my GBP, which means it's just about 87,000, which I think it's quite cool, and it's yeah, so it's kind of automatically converting. But nevertheless, to create this conversion, first we need actually to make sure we understand that there will be some creation of the currencies in the like the currency converters you can see here, which would include the crypto and crypto stable coins. Then obviously you would move to the, this is kind of to show what we're going to be doing actually today. So we're going to go through the creation of these ones, of the steps between 1, 2, 3, 4, and then ultimately we'll do the conversion backend, which is actually here right now, as you can see. So it's first we'll have to convert into the USD because Google Finance operates through the USD, and then we'll convert into the main model currency. And this will be it, but nevertheless, it's just a few of the index functions which will be quite interested. And then we'll obviously connect everything to the transaction ledger, and then the portfolio will look very much identical, but nevertheless, for example, the best part of this right now, for example, if you example, I have the portfolio in GBP, but for example, and this is actually all the values here are, as you can see, for example, the live prices are converted as well, which means that if I move back to my setup and if I'll move here and I will change to the USD, we will actually gonna go back to my portfolio. So you will see that actually my total value immediately changes to the USD here, and I can see my portfolio in USD. And we obviously will make sure that these zeros are no longer here, and this will be quite simple. So we will not be using the if function here, but we will be using the if error, which means that if there will be an error in our calculation, we're just going to return empty. And just like that, I think we are just having a bit of an issue here, maybe just like that. Control C. You will see right now if I'm copying this, press Control V will. Okay, so we are good to go because if I'm just going to press BTC here, perfect, the live price pulls out. So look, this is the model. I'm not going to delay more. I'm going to jump into how do we do that, and hopefully you'll hopefully I can deliver some value to this as well. Okay, here we are. We are going to be focusing right now on actually the currency converter. As you can see, you won't see my face right now. I do have a bit of an issue with my webcam, as I do have a bit of old setup on my, and perhaps I'll do my best to upgrade in terms of my old microphone and webcam for this, for if I'll continue doing these type of projects, but I don't think you need to see my face. I think the critical part is for you to kind of get a grip around how would you do the currency converter. There is a couple of important things. Either I'll do the same actually, by the way, for the Google for the stock market tracker. But very importantly, both the Google Finance or or actually cryptoprices.cc use dollar as their main currency. Therefore, all the live prices are pulled. You're gonna get the live initial value of those prices can be dollars, like it or not, but it's gonna be dollars, and that's why we'll have to convert them. It's gonna be so. First, by the way, the first step would be actually to convert them into dollars if there is a need for the conversion into dollars, and then from dollars, if the currency is different from the main model, then it will convert from dollars to that model currency. So that's gonna it's a bit of a back and forth, but it is what it is. Um, let's do this step by step. It's gonna be clear. So you can see right now the focus is uh, I will skip the simple parts, whether you can do the data validation, so you know how to do this essentially. But what I want is I will start with doing the Google Finance, and the Google Finance, I'm going to quotations, type currency colon, and then I'll put USD GBP. Make sure you have the right acronyms, and as you can see, the Google Finance will pull the live price. So it converts automatically, right? So Google Finance, open quotations, currency, colon, sorry, colon has already been there. It's not, it's a symbol. So I need to use D to euro and then quotations. Perfect. Close the brackets. And what it should do right now is that it will actually pull the right prices. So for example, I know that $1 is equivalent to 0.743 GBP, uh, pounds, and then euros, $1 is equivalent to 0.859. Perfect. So that's exactly what we want. Um, it's going to be quite a simple one, I think, for us to do a couple of things. First, I will do the same thing for the crypto, but you can see already that we'll be using the cryptoprices.cc. So this is the website. So let me just copy through the note, and I want it to copy, Control C. And this is because we will be doing the import data function and concatenate with import data will concatenate. This is where we'll Control V, the actual will paste the website, comma, and then we'll be referring to the ticker of the crypto. It's probably better defined as crypto ticker, like the ticker of the crypto, not necessarily the name. You can close and then there you go, Control C, Control V. So I think it's something that is going to be quite expected for everyone, because ultimately these are stable coins which should be equivalent pretty much to dollar. Um, so and as from I guess probably from personal experience, but most of the time, I say for most of the time, you can get crypto through fiat or mostly I suppose the stable coins that you purchase with. So I think that's why it's going to be quite good. So this is it, came up for step one. And let me go to the live prices here, because it's not just simply live prices, but this will be a bit of a trick here. So let's move on now to the part two. Okay, so step number two, or rather number three, I've put a number here. So I think you already know, and I think it's going to be quite easy for you to do let me just Control C. Um, it's not a surprise, even if I do the import data again and then concatenate, and then add the website crypto prices with the with the essentially with the ticker of the crypto, you'll see that it will pull the price, right? So if I'll do something like this, it will give me the live prices of so Bitcoin 116,000, but essentially if I'll you can see this is good essentially, but if I have my prices in GBP, this is doesn't make sense to me, right? Because I don't like I don't my portfolio is in GBP, not in USD. If you're in USD, you're the lucky person. But if not, I think a lot of us struggled a bit in terms of how to convert to live prices. So the easiest one is going to be actually, just give me a second. I know why do we have there, just like that. I'm gonna do something like this. It's probably gonna be better visibility if I'll do like this. Just gonna drag this. Let me just see. Uh, okay, everything works absolutely fine. But again, so what we will have to do, right? And the answer will be to do the index. And the index we will multiply, we'll create an index match function which will multiply by the live price, which will give us the actual um, the price of the cryptocurrency in our model currency. Let me first do the following thing. So index, that's not what it's supposed to do. So index, and I will select this range here. I will lock this as an absolute reference. I will match essentially my main currency, as you can see there. And again, I have to absolutely lock this with my currency selection here. Again, I will lock this completely, 0 for exact match, and then I want this to be a second column. So, because this is where the prices are. When I press 2, as you can see, I have already 0.743 appear here. And this is essentially all I need to do right now is that I need to Control X, which I'm gonna just use this formula, and then all I need to do is actually, let me see if I'll delete this, and I will multiply this. Um, and I will actually multiply by the currency which I have. So hopefully, if I'll press enter, okay, this is not value expect parameter function multiplies except by h bar is a text and cannot be with a number. Let me just see what do we have there. And there is maybe an issue where we'll need to convert this number. Let me just check because we need the value, um, number value, number, where's the value into a number. So what we will need to do is essentially, just give me a second, so Control X. What if what we will do is that we'll do the value and this will be converted to the value. Okay, so there you go. I think what we will need to do is that if we were to do this like this, we will do the value, press enter, Control C. To be honest with you, this is the first time which is happening to me. Control V, and then I will be multiplying this by index. Okay, I will need to recreate this, which the index where I will need to do this piece with the match, and I need to match my actual currency of the model, and I need to match with the index 2, and then press enter. Perfect. So I'll be honest with you, that's the first time that happened to me, the value. It happened a couple of few times in Excel, but I was surprised that it just done like this. So if I'll do Control C, Control V right now, you will see that my actual Bitcoin in GBP is at 86,500, right? If I'll move to euros, let's see, it calculates it's at 9999. If I'll move to USD, it will be at, so you can see everything is automatically, I mean, I really don't know. This is Ukrainian currency, I know, so it should be as it is. This should be good. Um, Swiss francs, I think this is what it is. So you can see, so this is what we have to do. We had to do to make sure we convert this to live prices to our model currency, because obviously all the other prices are being pulled in dollars. So this is it for a quick setup. Um, let's move on now to the next part. The next part is that we will set up quickly a couple of things which we'll use for the conversion at the back end. So this is where pretty much all the conversion will be. So first of all, given that I'm not gonna lie, this is currently the way that the whole transaction ladder is set up, you will be able to see. So there is a date, there is a coin where you select from drop down. You'll then say buy, and then there is a kind of an option for you to buy between fiat and crypto, but it will be dynamically. So for example, if I select fiat, I just want to see GBP or all the other currencies. If I want to have crypto, I want to have just crypto, kind of stable coins, the way I'm going to buy this. So this will be the next part. So what I will do right now is essentially I will go to my setup, and I know that for my, for example, for my fiat, this is going to be the cell, the array of G10 to G. Then for the crypto, I know this will be USDT. And by the way, and I'm sorry, but this is the way just I used to come out to do this. So I think hopefully it will make a bit of a sense to you. So now we're going to have some bit more complex, but not complex formula. So we want to, because I want to make sure my transaction tracker gets that automatically. If I select fiat, I want just to have these currencies. If I have crypto, I want just to have crypto and stable coin. So for this, what I will do is that I will do the VSTACK, and then I will do the filter. First filter function will be this one. So we'll select the currency one, and I will select that setup between the array of G10 to the whole H. So that's the array. And the essentially I'm going to say that my condition is that I want everything that will contain any currency name, and the other setup will be is that I will use another filter. I will stack up another filter between J10 and K, and this will be the same time when I'm going to be using J different to 0, which means I will, on these two arrays, it will stack up vertically these two, essentially it will combine just all these two columns, so there is data. So when I press enter, luckily, what I will have, hopefully, is that it will take some time. But hopefully, as you can see, I just pulled right now the values and the names, and this is exactly what I wanted. So it combined together into one piece right now. It will make much easier for me. So that's kind of what I need to do. So the rest will be quite simple. So all I need to do right now is I'm going to go to my trading journal, that I will do the date, and I think this is where we will need to select this array here, which is perfect transaction, and then the end of the month will be quite simple. So end of the month formula, not like this obviously, but end of the month is that I will do like this, and this is predominantly for graphs, by the way, but I think it will be important um, for you actually to realize that end of the month is so important. I mean, that's one of my favorite functions. So if date functions, I mean, if this cell is empty, I want to return empty. Otherwise, I want to return end of the month. Control C, Control Shift down, Control V. I want to make sure it covers all my transactions. And there you go. So now what will happen, it will usually what happens that I'm going to go to my trading journal, and we would not have this this essentially, this column here would have been empty. So what we'll have to do is that we'll need to do a index and match. So, and for this, we'll do the following thing. So index, and this is where we are going to be doing the following thing. We will go like this. So we will do this index, and this, as you can see here, because this is what we want to do. And I'm gonna press F4, and for the match, essentially we will tell that if this essentially what we want to do is that we want to match this part, because this is either the fiat or crypto, and this is where 1, 2, 3, I want to lock my column, just my column, as you can see, so I'm not doing the reference to the row. I will match with this part between the fiat and crypto, uh, exact match, press 0, and hopefully this will now list perfect. So what it does right now, as you can see, because I've given the selection of the fiat currency, made it will only make available my options with the selections for the GBP currency, okay, by the fiat currency. All I need to do here, just now type transpose, and what it will do is that essentially you can see that's exactly what I wanted. So it kind of will transpose and make this array horizontal, and that's what we can do right now. And the last piece we can do, if there will be no date, so there will be no purchase at all. I want this to be empty, otherwise I want it if there is no date, I want it to be empty, otherwise I want to have this transpose index function. So Control C, Control Shift down, Control V. So essentially, there you go. Essentially what will happen right now is that I will then use this array to make sure I do have the corresponding, as you can see, everything is clear here. So it will have the corresponding currency either, or corresponding payment option, whether it's a cryptocurrency. So let me show you something. So um, let's do the same thing. So let's buy some H bar, want to buy. Then you can see, look at this. If I want to buy with fiat, now let's buy with crypto. Look at this. All I want to have, I will have immediately USDT here. For example, I want to buy with the USDT. I want to buy with 1,000 USDT. H bar, I want to buy at 0.2. Perfect. And then the next day, maybe I want to buy BTC, but I want to buy and then crypto, but maybe I want to buy this fiat right now. Look what will happen now. I can buy right now in in GBP, because let's call it I'm GBP, and then I invest maybe 5,000. Um, let's make 5,000, and how much can I? Oh no, 5,000. Sorry, it's the quantity. Jesus Christ. No, 0.05 of Bitcoin, and price per coin. How much we can go? Let's go for the 100K. So yeah, exactly. So 5,000. Perfect. So this what it will allow me. So I know it looks a bit weird, but I don't think it was. I wanted just to remind the way that you can really do the multi-currency or multi-level drop-down menus. But now this is where the important part begins, and this is where the model will look and this is the next most important step, will be the conversion of the backend. So this is where we will look into the model, and we will make sure that it will pick up the right currency and will convert to the right, first to USD and then to the main model currency. Okay, we are here. Promise you, I know the video got a bit longer than I wanted, but I wanted to give you I want to give you the taste of the full logic of the multi-currency conversion, because that's a request that many of you have asked me. So what I will do right now is I'm gonna go to first of all, I will gonna, in the cell C2, I'm gonna link what is my main model currency, which is here, GBP, which it will help. obviously right now. And let me just be, so what we will do is then we will select the whole array of the transaction backend. I'm just gonna, actually I'm gonna do just do the date actually there. Let's see if that works. It does work, which is perfect. The only thing I forgot to say that obviously I need to see these values and these transactions. So first things first, actually, let's convert this to dollar, and it's going to be very, very simple to do that. All we need to do is actually to have this value here divided by the index and match function. And index that we will be using will be very simple. It will be our favorite camera. We already done this here, and this is probably why it's one of the most favorite functions actually and most useful functions I've used so far. So it's going to be index. You can see I'm going to match my currency here, and this is 123. Once again, lock the column F with the backend. There you go, just like that. And by the way, I think what we can do essentially just to remove this completely, because you'll never know, maybe you want to add more currencies or stable coins, and then we will select number 2 to do that. So we're gonna do press enter. And so the beauty of this, the beauty of this is that, remember when I told you at the beginning, if this would have been in dollars, so for example here right now, because I made transaction in GBP, and 98, if I would do essentially 98, what it means is that we are converting 98 pounds 37 pence to dollars, and this conversion means that this will be converted to $132.33. The reason why it works is that if my transaction would have been in dollars, there would be no change. So remember, we've converted, look at this right now. So we've converted 98.37 GBP to 132.33. If I would do this in dollars, the value would be remain the same, because we would divide the amount that the transaction we would divide by 1, which equivalent to 1. And this is the logic of the model. So right now, because where do we have the trading journal? This is GBP, and this is just the first step. So essentially, so but that's the most important part, and this is going to be quite a simple one. And I will do, once again, I will do if. I will do if this is empty. I want to return empty. Otherwise, I want to have this. I want to divide this. And to be honest with you, I don't mind. I'm happy to kind of select this. And the beauty, let's see if it works. Yeah, it does, obviously. And the beauty of this, given that, for example, here you can see that with some things that we have done, we've purchased in USDT and USD, and it's actually made absolute sense that the amount remained the same. So the last thing which I think we need to do is actually, probably, if here we have a division, here we'll have to multiply, and we'll have to multiply by by the main currency of the model. And what it does essentially is that it will convert. Now let's reconvert this. So I want this amount right now to be multiplied by the index. And once again, we will be going back to this index that we have already done. We're gonna have an absolute reference here, conversion backend. And here essentially we'll do the match, but it's going to be, right now it's not going to be matched within the currency here, but it will be with the currency here at the top, and that's why it's going to be F4 absolute lock. I'm going to go to transactions backend. I'm going to do the E again, absolute lock 0, and then press 2. Perfect. There you go. Let me check this out. So because we've converted, as you can see, this transaction has been purchased to GBP, it's going to be fine. So it will be reconverted back. But now, control, if I would do the if again, this equivalent to empty, I want to return empty. Otherwise, it's going to be this following calculation. Control C, Control Shift down, Control Shift down, Control V, and there we go. Look at this now. So because right now we've converted to the main model, because the main model, we want our portfolio to be completely in GBP. So for example, here, nothing changes, right? So we converted this and this is what it's supposed to be, right? But here, what happens that we've purchased in USDT, which is this value here, and we convert it to this GBP. And the same here, the same here. So whenever we have purchased in the different currency that our model, main model currency, it will be converted automatically. So the only reason why we had to do this way is because all the live prices are pulled in dollars, no other currencies are being pulled. But right now, everything is converted. For example, if I go to my setup and I will change everything to, look at this, if I'll change to USD, what will happen is that for the most of the time, you'll see that these values are equivalent, so they are equal. And this is because there is nothing to be converted. And this is where I think it's exciting part. But the transaction of which we've paid, you can see 98 pounds 37, 98 pounds and 37 pence, converted to USDT to 132 and converted to the main model remained 132. And that's the power of this model essentially. And that's what I wanted to show you. Because the rest, I think you will be able to see what I have done in terms of the array formulas and the prices per coin. So it's not going to be uh, a difficult one. The portfolio, the live prices, by the way, the only thing which is important here, if I would to delete here, and this is where the live prices will be pulled right now from the setup. And this is because we will match our main currency, and this is why it's so important. We'll match the live price with our average cost. And we want to make sure these are within the same currency. And this is how we're essentially going to do this. So just there is a big reference here. The rest, I'm sorry, I'm not going to focus right now because it's already a big one. There are some complex formulas here. For unrealized P&Ls, it's very simple. Nothing extra. Um, the dashboards, as you can see, I just need this. This is actually the reason why it doesn't show. It's because we've been playing around. So when you have access to this, this is what it's missing. But I will maybe explain this a bit later. But it will work obviously when you get the model. So there is, and this is because that's what I've been missing, and that's where I need to essentially just make sure this is correct one. But this is simple to fix. So I want to focus you on this part. This is how you do the multi-currency conversion, and the same video will follow for the stock. And once I can try to fix the webcam, I'll give my couple of updates in respect to what is going to happen with more models and to the channel as well. So this is way too long. I'm sorry again, there is a bit of a price to this because there has been a lot of work, and one of the things we wanted to catch up is the cost of technology. But nevertheless, it's going to be, I think it's going to be something like, I think like $5. So if I convert this to GBP, it's probably something, three something GBP pounds. It's hopefully it's affordable to everyone if you're really interested in having the multi-currency conversions. And I will also email to whoever has purchased already, so they could get this model for free. So once again, thanks guys, and I'll see you soon.